If you're going to sell a course online, you need a website. And the fact of the matter is, you don't need to pay to build a website these days. Yes, it's a great idea to buy a domain, but we can go into that further in another video. Using Canva allows you to have a website for free. And in a previous video, I looked at how you create the course part of your website. Today, I'm looking at how you can actually just create the sales page and the main pages of your website using Canva for free. And then you can put it up on the web and start selling straight away. Producing your first course should not take extra time and money. It should be something that's done reasonably easy. And it can be if you just take a few minutes to have a play around. And Canva is the ideal tool. You'll note that actually I really do advocate for Canva because I can do so much when it comes to course creation and digital content using Canva. So if you want to look at something that is worthwhile, that will give you your money back if you are going to invest in a pro account, which you don't need to, of course, then please jump on the link below and grab yourself a copy of Canva. It's accessible online, so it doesn't matter where you are in the world. Okay, so first of all, we go into Canva and we do a search for website under templates, and it brings up a whole range of templates. Now, I've been building websites since 1996, so a long time, and I've always gone for templates. The reason being that you can see how the website's going to look before the website's finished. Then you've just got to replace the information and pictures with your own. And it speeds the process of development up greatly. So any company that I've worked with over the years, I've always worked to find good templates and then given them a choice. So in this case, Canva's giving you a lot of choices. Now, if you're going to sell a course, there's a whole pile of things to consider. First of all, you've got your homepage, which is the most important page in your website. A couple of reasons. One being, from an SEO perspective, it's the one that Google shows up first. Two, it's actually the plain domain. So, your name, bradhauck.com or mrwebmarketing.com, whatever my domains are, you'll have yours, of course. And that's the one that people will see first more often than not. And one of the hardest decisions is deciding, should that page be a page about me? Should it be about my business? Or should it be the course that I'm selling? That's a decision you're going to have to make for yourself. If you're just selling a course and you've got a domain for that course, then the first page should just be a straight up sales page. It should be a sales letter. That's pretty simple, isn't it? Because you're directing people to a domain to buy a course or to go into your funnel or whatever it is. If your website is like a central repository where you send people and you've got your course stored there, then your homepage needs to talk more about what you do, but have very distinct links. So if you look at my homepage for mrwebmarketing.com, you'll see there is clearly multiple calls to action to download my free 10 profitable courses you can create in a weekend giveaway that you can get. So by the way, go to mrwebmarketing.com and grab that if you'd like it. That's my call to action that I've built into my homepage. In this case, what we're going to look at is a homepage to sell a course. Every website has a headline at the top, so we're going to look for a design that has a clear layout for a headline. And if we scroll down through these, you'll see there's a whole pile where we've got kind of text, and then we've got a picture, text and a picture. Then we've got picture with text over the top. This is more suitable for a sales page. There's a couple of reasons why I do like to actually have the hero image at the top. And the first one is that it tells people they're on the right page. They've got a headline there that has the wording in it, and then they have a picture that backs that up. So the image kind of works as well. So you've got a visual aspect, a reading aspect that come into play when people arrive on your website. So if we look at this one or this one, I'm going to take this one in this case. I'm going to click on it. Brings up the template, and you can see there's a couple of sub pages here, which is fine. Now, colors, not so good for what I want to use. I wouldn't use these colors in my businesses. I don't think they're striking enough because my colors are orange and blue and gray and white. But we can change the colors. So that's not a problem. What we're looking for is a bit of a rough layout. And this one's got a couple of pages, but they're really uninspiring. So let's look a little bit further. What have we got in this one? Okay, so we've got a couple more. So you can see here now, if we look at this, could be text and this could be a picture, not just like headlines and stuff. So we can see, and then you got width banner across halfway down the page with calls to action like buy now and things like that. This one's not bad. I don't mind this one. I'm going to try one more. Let's have a look at this one here. Oh, no, it's one page. Oh, that's not what we're after. And what about this one, Hannah Morales? Again, one page internal sort of thing. Let's go back to this one. Got a couple of different layouts there, and we can use this one. It's nice and simple. So customize this template. So that's going to load up now, and we've got our first section there. So page 1, and then page 2 and page 3, it's already added those. If I come in here, I can add pages, I can add sections, all sorts of things. So you've got to remember that what it's actually done is create 3 pages. Now, I don't really want 3 pages here, so I'm going to get rid of these pages and this page because I don't need them. What I want to do is I want to just start with my first page, and then I'm going to add sections underneath it to build the page. To do this, I'm going to, basically, we're going to make up a bit of sales copy here. So I can adjust this out so that it's wider. Do you want to learn how to change a tire? Okay. Pretty clear headline. Let's just center that there. Now, one of the things I've done here, you may notice, is that I've just typed it out, but we really want that in title case. So if I come up top here, I can click this. I'm going to switch it to all capitals, not title actually. And I don't need 2 buttons here, so I'm going to get rid of one, and I'm going to grab this one and pull it across in the center. So you'll recognize this as a traditional sort of layout. I'm going to bring this text up bigger, and I'm going to bold it. There it is. And center that. See that little line comes up? It's now centered. So lots of cheats on here that make life a lot easier. And I'm going to do Mr. Web Marketing and put the break in there. So we've got that. Now I don't have to do that. I can put my logo there. So if I go into my uploads and I go down to some of my logos, there we go. I can get my logo, and I can shrink that down, and I can put my logo over here in line with that. So I have my logo on my page. Now you don't have to have a logo, and you probably will have a menu. So let's move it over here because we'll have a menu along the top eventually, won't we? And there we go. So we've got our first section. The next thing we need to do is look at the picture. So we go to elements. I want a picture of tires. I'm going to go into photos because I need a photo background. And this is the one traditionally that you would have seen me using the other one. All I do is drag it across here and just over the top of the background there. You see how it changes the background, and let it go. And by now, okay, so I've now got my headline. Do you want to learn how to change a tire? What do I need to do now? Now I need to start adding my sales copy. What I'm going to do is come over to the side here, and I'm going to go add section. So I've got a section. I'm going to need some text. So let's add a headline, and I'm going to move that over, and I'm going to add a subheading because that will be my text. I'm just going to mark this so they're all left-hand sitting because we want the edges to line up. And then I'm going to type this in. Okay, so it's a bit big. I'm going to bring it back down a bit, and I'm going to grab the handles and pull that across, and I'm going to grab that and pull it up because I need to get my subheading out. So I've got my headline there. I can adjust the height of the text, so I can bring the line spacing down so it's a little bit tighter. Obviously, this is way too much for a headline, and I'm going to bring this out to about halfway, bring this out to about halfway. There we go. See that little line came up there when I got to halfway? That's my little guide coming up. And I'm going to need some sales copy. So I'm going to get some lorem ipsum generator, and I'm going to get 5 paragraphs, and I'm going to copy that. Now, the reason I'm using this obviously is it's demo text, and it saves me writing text, but you put your own sales copy in here and space that out. So we have a section. You can see we're breaking the sections. Now, often in sales pages, you have multiple sections. So you're going to have to copy and paste your text across a bit at a time until you get it sitting right. And you want it to be nice and clear. Now, I'm going to put a piece of a flat tire. I'm going to look for a picture of someone, oh, there we go, with a flat tire on the side of the road. That's what I want. Look at that. Look how frustrated those people are. That's perfect. And the good thing is too, it's square, so I don't have to readjust it. So now we've got headline. How are we going to be stuck on the side of the road without the ability to change flat tire? That changes now. Great. Okay, so here's where you start to cheat. And I use the word cheat because that's just shortcuts. Okay. I need to have more text and more pictures as I go down the page, but I don't want to reinvent the wheel. So what do? If I click here and I click duplicate section, see I've now got the same sections done again. All I need to do now is click, hold my shift key down, press click, and then drag that across here, grab my picture and drag my picture back to there, and then click and drag this back to here. And if I scroll up, I can see the edge of this one. So if I just drag that out a bit till it's roughly lined up with that, line up the top with that. This picture, I can leave it there, or I can bring it across. It's really up to me what I do. And I might want to just bring that up so it's in line with the bottom like that. So it's a little bit nicer. I'll do that there too. See that dotted line come up down the bottom there? Nice dotted line. And now I've got my two bits. So if we go into here and go preview, do you want to learn how to change a tire? And there's my text and my pictures. So you can see this sales page starting to develop now, okay? So we'll go back. Now, obviously we need a different picture, and I can just drag a new picture onto that one and let it go and it'll change. It's really quite simple when you follow these 5 easy steps. Okay, so I'm going to put that there, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break this here just to give me a bit more height to work with there. Obviously you will be working with whatever you've got. And so now you can see, if I preview this, our file now, we've got our picture and we've got our text. And it looks like a sales page. Now I'm using a black background. There's a couple of things I would say about this. Black obviously fits with tires. But on the other hand, black with white writing is very hard to read for many people. So while there's a lot of people who do like the dark setting for their browser, it's not a great color to read. Yes, you have a lot of standout on it, but you'll often find it's far easier to read black writing on white than it is to read white writing on black. So be careful about your choices. Again, I'm using this for demonstration purposes. So I want it to stand out so you can see the work I'm doing. Okay, so I now have 2 sections, and then I need to add in more sections. If I go back to my design and I go into my recently used, I can see extra pages that I might want to use. And I can actually grab these elements that are already designed and drop them in. So this is one of the handy things, is to go back and find the template you're working on. And when you click on it over here, you'll see there's other options you can take. So if I take this one, actually, sorry, my mistake. Got to add a new section, and then I've got to drag this onto there, and that will fill it in. Okay. So now notice there is a slight difference in color here. So if I go up here and choose this, my background's actually black. If I change that, it will change, and that will be fine. So what clients say, and you can change the testimonials here. So that's good. And then now I want another section. And down the bottom here, we might do the buy now. What I want is a button. So I'm going to go back up the top here and copy this button. I'm going to come back down the bottom and paste it so that my buttons look the same. So I have that consistency from the top here to the bottom, and consistency is really important. It's all very well to come over here and say, I want a button. But if I put that button on there, look, now it's got a white background. That doesn't work for me. Let's have a look at graphics. If I put a button on here, I can put a button on there and I can put text over the top of it, but it doesn't fit with the branding, even if I change color, because the top of it is all square. So let's just copy and paste. It's nice and easy. So you can do all of your bits and pieces down here for buying. So you might have the buy button over on this side, and you might have a form there or whatever you want. You can find your guarantees like this. So there you go, 100% guarantee, which looks always nice. and makes people feel comfortable. If you don't know what you want to add, just go to a page that has a sales page. So if I go to mrwebmarketing.com and I go into launch a course, and you'll see my sales page here for the microcourse profits. You'll see down the bottom here, I've got some elements. So I've got some bonuses and all that. You might want to bring them across. I got a picture of the actual course, and then you've got your pricing. So I can actually copy this, for example, and I can just click paste, and it will paste that for me. Then all I've got to do is space that out. And then I've got some bullet points in here. So I can adjust those into bullet points. And then 47 is actually quite big. So let's make 47 big. And then this was a cut through. So can I do that? No, I can't. Doesn't matter. I'll change the wording of that. Was $97. And I can put that over here and just adjust it out. And then I needed a copy of my product. We'll get a picture of a tire here because that's the product in this case. So there's our tire. So just that over there. So there's a product shot there. And I can put my guarantee here. And if I go back to my order form here, I can maybe copy a couple of these things across, but I'm just obviously doing a demo for you. And there they are. But I get that to line up properly, and I don't want it in all capitals, so let's switch it all back to normal. Obviously, this text has to come back down. And great thing about this is it's all in layers. So look, if I move this up the road, I can get this over here and put it out the road. And this is the key thing I like, is that ability just to pick something up. So there's the edge of my page. And it's a bit high. So let's bring it down a bit and bring that across that. So it's nice and easy. And then I'm going to put my guarantee in here. I'm going to shrink that down and put that next to there so that people can see it. So you can see now how I've created this page. What I need to do is just link this up if I want to link it up, and click on link, and I can put my link to my PayPal account or whatever there to take the money, or wherever you're collecting money. It might be a Stripe account, whatever. Get your payment link and put it in there. So very quickly, we've created a page, a sales page, and we can add extra rows to that. It's pretty simple, isn't it? So if I just preview this again for you, do you want to learn how to change a tire? Have you been stuck on the side of the road? It's really quite simple. So I can just take the sales copy that I've written. I can grab my testimonials and bring it across. And then I've got my description of what you get and the price of it, and a picture of the product here with a little guarantee beside, all ready to go. And all I need to do is go publish website. And then over here, you'll see this comes up. What I can do is change this to the tire course, and I can add my domain. By the way, you can buy a domain to go on here, and I can go to settings, and I can make it search engine visible because I want the search engines to find it. I can add password protection, which you've seen in my previous video, and I can add a menu if I've got multiple pages. But in this case, we actually only have one page because that's all we've built. And I go continue to publish. Oops, and it's changed the name back, so that's fine, and publish. And now it's going to prepare my design for me, so I don't need to do any of the stuff. It's doing all the hosting for me. It's so simple, and it's free. If you want to buy a domain, obviously, because forlaws.mycanva.site is probably not the best domain name. But when you're starting out and you don't have any cash flow, and I've been there, anything you can do is worthwhile. I would recommend buying a domain, but because for the small cost, you can get a domain for under $20 for the first year. You can actually get started with a real domain name. And then after that, as you start selling your course and you've got cash flow coming in, you can extend that domain life out and keep it forever if you want to. So we visit the website, and it's going to load up. Here we go. And there we have it. If there's anything you want to change, the great thing is you can just go back into Canva. So for example, see this top section. I feel like there's a lot of empty space at the top here, but if I had a menu there, it wouldn't be so bad. Or maybe the picture was higher or something. So if I go back, okay, and I go edit design, and then I come back up to my picture here and I go into elements, tires, and I want photos. I need something that's going to have a lot more fill to take up more space. There we go, that. And then I can go publish website, republish, and it'll just go through and republish everything, of course. And if I look at the course now, see now it seems fuller. So little things like that, you won't notice till you actually publish or you really think about it, that, okay, maybe I actually need a bigger picture there. But as you can see, it's really simple to change. So that's how you publish your first course on Canva, with putting your sales page up. If you look at my other video, which is on how to actually publish the course and use password protection to protect your course on Canva, you can link these two together just with a link. It's nice and easy. But this is how you get your sales page up. This is how you create your first website on Canva. I hope this has helped you in some way. Please subscribe and please leave a comment, because it's really good for my soul. It lets me know that people are actually watching, and I really am trying to help you succeed here. Don't forget, you can go to mrwebmarketing.com and get that free download, 10 proven courses that you can create in a weekend. And that will get you started on creating a profitable course within the next couple of days. I'll catch you in the next video.